In 2018, the hit franchise God of War was somewhat rebooted with an all-new installment for the PS4. It continued to follow our protagonist Kratos as he attempted to get a fresh start in a new land, jumping from Greek mythology to Norse mythology. In between games, Kratos met a woman named Faye, and they had a son together named Atreus. And after Faye passes, it becomes your mission to take Atreus and spread her ashes on the highest peak in the Nine Realms, as was her dying wish. God of War 2018 was a beautiful spectacle of story, character development, and innovative graphics and gameplay. So to top all that would be a tall order. But this year, Santa Monica Studios managed to do exactly that with the follow-up, God of War Ragnarok.
We'll make our own destiny.
Everything great about the first game is vastly improved upon in Ragnarok. The combat, while not changing much, feels more refined and, as always, is incredibly fun to play. In Ragnarok, you have 3 weapons: your Leviathan Axe, which inflicts frost damage, your Spartan Blades, which do fire, and later on your Draupnir Spear, which does wind. Each weapon you wield is incredibly well thought out, and something I love is how they really make you think about which weapon you should use to inflict the most damage against a certain enemy. The goal here, I would imagine, is to make sure no one is just using the same weapon the entire game, and that is done incredibly well. The game also features a roster of companions throughout your journey that you can command to attack using square, and each of them has their own unique skills as well, namely Freya the Valkyrie Queen and Atreus, who gets a big upgrade in this game, which leads us nicely into my next topic. Every character in Ragnarok feels so incredibly fleshed out and real. They all have great dialogue together, and not even just in the cutscenes. Anytime you're journeying together, whether it be sailing around on a boat or riding on a wolf-driven sleigh, the characters all have so much dialogue to say to each other. You could spend hours just wandering around and listening to their stories.
Hey, this seems like a good time to try and remember all the terrible stories about Thor and Odin. Okay, there was Thalmor, the stonemason.
Aye, he quarreled with his son, went into the night to find him, found Thor instead.
And there was Thalmor's son, Grimthor.
Who built the walls of Asgard, and whispered something of importance to Freya before his betrayal and assassination.
So Freya was a guest when Odin burned him?
Not exactly. Odin didn't mind locking Freya up. He saw the potential of the magic and wanted to know more than how to improve crop yields. I've heard my share of stories about your homeland, but I'd also heard that you once fought in a tournament.
I fought in many contests.
But this particular one, I heard you did battle with beasts, scoundrels, princesses, the undead, automatons, and history's greatest musician. That's not true, is it?
I would not speak of this.
Fair enough, brother.
As I mentioned before, Atreus probably gets the biggest character upgrade in this game, not just in his skills, but his maturity. He's really come into his own and wants to take things into his own hands. He makes decisions for the group, questions his father a lot, and there's even a lot of time where you get to play as just Atreus on his own doing solo missions. If there's one thing Ragnarok does better than its predecessor, it is Atreus. The plot of Ragnarok is certainly a lot more complicated than the 2018 game, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Without spoiling anything, I'll just say that the Norse gods, mainly Odin and Thor, are not too fond of Kratos and Atreus being in the Nine Realms, and prophecies show that pretty much anything they do will lead to Ragnarok, which is basically a great apocalypse in Norse mythology where pretty much most of the gods die. And at the center of this prophecy are, of course, Kratos and Atreus. Atreus comes to be known also as Loki, as a lot of people begin calling him this after realizing he is actually half giant on his mother's side. Loki is prophesied to play a big part in Ragnarok and giant history, so, Atreus has got a lot going on. But aside from all the war and prophecies, what the game is really about is a father and son. Atreus is ready to do things on his own, but Kratos isn't ready to let him go. And over the course of the game, he has to come to grips with the fact that his son has a big place in the world, and he has to accept he can't protect him forever. It's a beautiful father-son relationship, and the two actors that portray Kratos and Atreus just have such amazing chemistry together. I genuinely feel that Kratos and Atreus are the best video game characters I've ever seen. I truly don't know anyone that could top them. This will be a smaller section, but of course I have to mention how absolutely amazing this game looks. At any given moment, you can stop playing and just look around in astonishment at how the environment looks. The trees, the sky, the water, the plants, the huge beautiful landscapes you see when you're standing atop a hill. Everything is just breathtaking. They put so much work into just this aspect of the game alone, and I truly love everything about it. So, in summary, God of War Ragnarok is a damn near perfect game. The only gripes I have with it are, at points, there's some characters who just sound a little off. Most people here talk like you'd imagine ancient gods would sound, but some of them, like Freya's brother, Freyr, kinda just sound like a dude from LA.
I'd cut off your head, but it seems somebody beat me to it.
Aye. Oh, quite observant, brother.
Oh, no, you're no brother of mine. You sold my sister to that prick.
We broke it a piece.
Oh! Did you now?
Those characters definitely take me out of it, but it certainly doesn't ruin the experience completely, especially when Kratos sounds this good.
What were you thinking?
I wanted to visit Fenrir.
For 2 days?
I...
Do not lie to me again! Why did you come here? Alone? Do you seek death?
No more than you.
Then why? Why? What is it you will not tell me? I have tried to walk this path with you. We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still I follow!
I'm also not a huge fan of the game stopping so often to ask me if I want to do side missions. Like, I know they're there, I'm gonna get to them. I don't need to be constantly reminded after every big story moment, hey, you know how you're having fun with the story? Why don't you stop that and go do some other, random bullshit? It just kinda gets annoying after a while. But with everything considered, I'm giving God of War Ragnarok a solid 9.5 out of 10. It is an absolutely amazing game, and even after beating the story, I'll be playing it for quite some time. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little review for God of War Ragnarok. I really, really love this game, and I really wanted to get some of my opinions about it out there. So I hope you enjoyed, and let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Ragnarok 2. For future videos, if you enjoyed the massive two-parter where I reviewed every Sony Pictures animation movie, keep on the channel because I have another huge one in the works. I posted the trailer over on my TikTok. It's gonna be reviewing every Fast and Furious movie. I have no idea when it's gonna come out, so just hit subscribe and keep an eye out for it. And once again, thanks so much for watching. And I'm gonna go kill some gods with an axe. Alright, see you guys later.